Hey traders, market update time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, looks like I'm screaming into the microphone. Let me minimize this microphone. Volume on this microphone. Let me actually get straight into the markets. Lack of follow through. That's all I say in this video. Lack of follow through. The Dow Jones is the one that I'm really focusing on. Do we continue breaking above this high? Let me actually show you this here. This is the flag I was showing you yesterday, and I said, hey, if we do, and that's the if. And I said, if we break above this high here, then we could be heading towards the 20,000 mark. So it's really interesting to see what's happening here. So what I'm seeing here, guys, is that it ran up, it actually hit my projection point, and then came back down, bounced off this level here. Now it's rallying back up, and we'll get the stochastics spiking up pretty quick with very little follow through. This whole top up here, guys, is a key area for the Dow Jones, and it's having problems even getting up to there after a big follow through. Like you would expect after a good news announcement like that, and a big up day and good volume and all that sort of stuff, you'd expect the market to have some follow through, right? Just at least go back up to the top up here, but it didn't. Sort of nothing day, close lower. Now that doesn't mean anything for the short term direction, but just bear in mind, guys, that we're looking at, it depends on what actually happens here next. And what I mean by that is this. Let me actually just take everything off the screen. Let me actually take that off the screen now. And let me just take this flag off the screen, because we don't really need to worry about that. And I'm going to minimize this. And actually, you know what? Let me see if I can just take it all off the screen. The thoughts that go through my mind, guys, in looking at this market. Remember, you always need to be flexible in your decision. I'm not a bull or bear. I was a bear. I was a son of a gun bear through here, right? And yeah, I had about probably 3 losing trades in total. All through here, I was a bear. I thought we're going to get some downward movement. We didn't. We broke up. I still think by the end of the year, we're going to be much lower, but that's just my thoughts. That's not what I'm seeing on the charts at the moment, and just based on fundamental analysis. But technical analysis, guys, it's not showing anything. It's not showing bullish, it's not showing bearish, but there is a lot of things I'm reading from this chart. Let me show you what I'm saying here. The market has run up through here, right? And generally speaking, after you get a run up like you did through here, big run up, and then you have a period of time when the market has a pullback, right? Creates a flag. What generally happens after the flag formation? If we get a good breakout with volume, generally there's follow through, and there's follow through, and there's follow through. So due to the fact that we got no follow through today, now tomorrow could be a different story. Tomorrow we could open up and blast straight past highs. But I'm taking it based on what I'm seeing here right now, is that today is very little follow through, and it's really interesting to see that. Now let's go back to, remember, the peaks and troughs are key. Peaks and troughs are key. Now let's actually go back to the simple analysis of peaks and troughs, and let's have a look at here. So we had this sort of a double top formation here. We had this trough, we had a lower trough, ran up, made this higher trough, and it took off, right? Absolutely just took off, made this high peak up here, made that high peak up there, and then now we've made this higher trough. The question you got to ask yourself, and this is where you need to be flexible as a trader, do we A, break above this high and follow through? If that's the case, it's created another higher peak, so the trend is still intact. But if we don't, and the market starts to fail here, and we start to head down like this, and especially like that, what have we just created? We have just created a lower peak. That is a bearish sign, And for it to confirm that now we're more on the short term of bearishness than bullishness, we would need to see it create a lower trough as well. Because remember, in an upward movement, you have a higher peak, higher troughs. In a downward movement, you have lower peaks and lower troughs. And also in a sideways movement like you have here, you have lower peaks, higher troughs, lower peaks, you know, like sort of like that. It's all over the place. So we have lower peaks and lower troughs in a downtrend. So looking at this here, we would need to see a close below or a run below this level here. If that is the case, then on a short-term basis anyway, I know that looking at this market here, we have this sort of big area of support here. And that is the key for me. That sort of 18,000 level is still very key for me. But this is the sign of short-term weakness in the markets. You have to be watching these peaks and troughs, right? And this is something that I totally missed as well too. When looking at this peaks and troughs, right? We saw this peak, came down, made this high peak, made this high trough. Look at that breakout. Okay, so this breakout, you can see this breakout, and we had good volume. What happened, right? We had a nice up day, small little higher close, nice up day. You see the follow through? But now we're not getting much follow through, are we? It's the market's trying to tell us something. Now again, tomorrow could blast straight up and make a new high. But remember, we're always got to involve with the markets and flow and mold with the markets. See, and this could happen. And if that happens, and we definitely start to roll down, then this is the sign you want to be waiting out for. I've been saying for probably the last couple of weeks that I'm waiting for something like this. And if we get a nice move down like that, and then another nice move down like that, and then suddenly the market breaks past all these levels through here on the Dow Jones, and then we start to get a rally, you better believe I'm looking to short the crap out of this market. Looking to short the crap out of it market right there. Because we have such a high probability. Now my fundamental analysis and my technical analysis are aligned with what the markets. And I believe that this whole bit here will be, this whole thing here, this whole bit here will be a top in the markets. Will be a top in the markets. Now let me actually bring this down so you guys can see the top as well too. But that may not happen, all right? I'm not calling a top. I'm not saying the market's going to crash. We don't know. That's the reason why we're waiting to see what the market does, and we're going to bend and mold with it. All right? Don't be so, if the market breaks this high with good volume, then hey, we have a good chance of running up to at least, where do I have that level there? The first target for me, if we break through and have good volume, if we break above here and we have good volume, then I have like the 19,000 level is where I think it's going to get to. If it breaks down and starts to create lower peaks, lower troughs, and it starts to break here, and especially starts to break below this 18,000 level, guys, then that to me is the topping action, and then that's what we're looking at there. So that's what I'm looking at overall, guys, on the markets. And if we go look at the S&P. S&P actually had a lower close again. That's not the S&P. Hang on a minute. The S&P actually had a lower close, another lower close, small little lower close, not much. Again, it was an up day, so nothing much, not bullish or bearish. It was just pretty much nothing day. We're almost at that high point through there, so that's really, really interesting. You can see the Russell, right? The Russell still stuck in my overall channel that I've got to the high side through here. And you can see this overall channel that I've had for quite some time. So the Russell is still stuck in that. It actually hit the top of it and came back down. And again, very, very, very little follow through. The thing you got to make sure you keep an eye out for, guys, is that are we about to make a divergence on the stochastics? Because divergence work a lot of the time. And you can see, guys, if you can see that. Let me actually just make an arrow here. You can see when we had this divergence here, and then we had this, the market was making a lower low, but the stochastics making a higher low. Look what happened. Bam, right? Market made a lower low with this Brexit, but look at the stochastics, and then suddenly, bam. Look what's happening now. The market's making a higher high. Are we about to make a divergence where we get the stochastics running up through here, and then we start to roll over? If that's the case, then that's actually quite a weak sign for the markets right now. in August. So again, that's what I'm keeping an eye out for as well too. Same for the Dow Jones. Are we about to make a divergence? It's not really a divergence. The stochastics is actually going along with the market right now on that. And the same for the Russell. Are we about to make some sort of divergence on there? Because you can see it actually works time and time and time again. It works so well if you spot it early enough. Once again, you can see that this little divergence, especially if you get the divergence, you can see like that bit of a double bottom or lower trough, and look at that, market just took off, divergence, and the market just, and then that was the divergence through there, and you can see the market took off through there. So and the Russell, the Nasdaq's basically still hitting its high on my projection point there. That's where it's finding a resistance. It's really struggling. But we are starting to see the stochastic come down here a little bit more. It's not being pinned anymore. We're actually starting to come down. So very interesting times. It's getting a lot of... We have bullish patterns that could continue to break up. But we're getting a lot of bearish signs as well too. So we just got to wait and see what happens. But with that, when the market starts to form and give us some good clear signals, that's when I'm about to jump on the market. So there we go, guys. A bit of a market update for you. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.